Once upon a time, in a land far, far away. Nah, not like that. I'm only joking. But I am going to tell you a story. It's not your story. It's my story. A story like you've never seen before. But you want a proper story, huh? Then I must tell you something of my people and my land. Then you can see the story and know it. This land began in the beginning. Yulungur, that great water governor, he traveled here. Yulungur made all this land and he made this water and he made this swamp that stretches long and gives us life. I come from a water hole in this land Yulungur made. I was looking like a little fish in my water hole. Then my father come near my water hole. I asked him for my mother. I wanted to be born. My father pointed out one of his wives. "That's your mother," he told me. I waited until the right time, and I went just like that into her vagina. Then my father had a dream. That dream made him know she had a little one inside her. That little one was me. When I die, I will go back to my waterhole. I'll be waiting there like a little fish, waiting to be born again. You didn't know all that, did you? Huh? But it's the true thing. It's always like that for my people. Now we have to find where the story is. The story I'm going to tell you. We have to go back long time. Back to the time of my ancestors. Shh. Listen now. I can hear them. They're coming. My ancestors. This wise-looking one is Minglulu. Then his younger brother Daindy, and then the other ones. Too many names to remember. That one is Jigger. Jigger talked too much, but maybe he heard something. The ancestors are making canoes for goose egg hunting. They cut the barks off the trees, and they talk about women like always. They make fun at Daindi. They know Daindi is liking the young wife of his brother Mingululu. This is first time Daindi hunt the magpie geese. There is many things Daindi never seen before. And there is much for him to learn on this hunting.
Yo, tim panjul kakal. Wabar nyanya. Wabar mage. Mari nyukung miyal. Manden mi. Nana. Benyakan.
Mingululu knows it's true about the wrong feeling of his young brother.
Tinyar bol kenak. Kamoy. Ngay luri. Nira bongo ini.
The men will carry the bark to the swamp. Mingululu will tell Daindi that story to help him live the proper way. It is Mingululu's story for Daindi back then, and it is my story for you now. It is a good story, but you better listen, eh? Maybe you like Daindi. Maybe this story will help you live proper way. And here is that story. It is long, long time ago. Daindi is still a little fish in his waterhole. All the ancestors, that Mingululu, Jigger, and even the old sorcerer, all of them little fish in their waterholes. All their fathers and fathers before that, they still little fish in their waterholes, all over this land, waiting to be born. That's how long ago this time is that we are in now. The time that we see now is after the beginning. It is after the big flood came that covered the whole land. Look at that flood. You can nearly see it. We are so long ago now. It is after Yulungur, great water goanna, named the trees and the birds and the plants and the people. It is after Yulungur gave the all ancestors big ceremony of the Jungwan, which give us the law we all learn. It is after the people learn to live to that law. After then, but a long, long time ago. And in that ancient time, there lived an ancient ancestor. This ancient ancestor was called Rijimiril. Rijimiril was a warrior, a proud one. He had wives and children just like we have now. And he followed the law, which is the same law as the law now. The stories of our people are very old. Sometimes they take a long time to tell, days even. Mingululu is telling Daindi some of the story while they carry the bags. Proper trees for canoes grow far away from the swamp. The storytelling must stop for a while. There is more work to do before the men hunt the geese. They must put the barks in the water to soak. One bark already soaked is put on the fire to make it hot and soft. The story of Rijimiril can go on.
Menjawab. Mengadan dalam penatamnya ngaruk mel lorkon. Yo, yo ni jalan.
The first wife Rijimiril had was called Panalunju. Panalunju was wise and she was important.
Menjawab kau ni, mel, nyokong ma, buang kita mana? Mana balik?
The bark is almost ready. They must cool it down to make it easier to bend. Daindi learns by watching. That is the way we do it with our people. But we better keep this story going. Number 2 wife of Rijimiril was called Noelingo. Noelingo was a bit of a jealous one, but she had eyes that sometimes flew at other men.
Marian mengkaitkan bay mel web penyaman.
Nyar perakan ni. Mana nak?
Ah, that number 3 wife, she was a young one. She was called Munanjar. Munanjar was beautiful one. She was quiet as a sleeping baby. Rijimiril also had younger brother, just like Daindi was Mingululu's younger brother. Rijimiril's brother was called Iralpril. Iralpril had no wives yet, and none promised. he thought he should have one, and the wife he thought he should have was Monanjar. It was not right to him that his brother had 3 wives, but he himself had none.
Bulyog nyo na jawal payerek ka miyal manin mi penjere kelkam ja. Kanyo benjang halkam ngayon manin jawal pay.
Baba ngarjar mel karman na kur kenen ni nyeri.
Tiene ngibrarian ngarukro gor kranya ging oral nenen ne.
The young man lived in Singleman's camp, away from the mine camp. They lived there to learn the law and man's ways. Yeralpril too lived in the Singleman's camp. Even though it was long walking to Rijimiral's camp, Yeralpril's eyes could already see that young Monanjar. His mind would wander off to be with her. Sometimes his legs would make his body follow. He thought about how to really see Monanjar. Maybe he would just walk into the camp and pretend another reason.
Mata bang.
But maybe Bonalunji's eye would be too sharp. That day, near the camp, was haircut day. Iralpil thought maybe he could see Monanjar from a distance. The one who said that joke is Birin, who lived in the same camp as Rijimiril. Birin had 2 wives and a belly big as a mountain. He was always eating too much, but his favorite thing of all was honey. He would search for it, beg for it, sometimes even steal it. Ah, yes. I nearly forgot that sorcerer. The sorcerer was old and very powerful. He had good magic and bad magic. He lived by himself to keep his magic secret. Now watch carefully, because on this day I'm talking about, something happened. There was a stranger. Maybe that stranger had a right to visit this land. Maybe he had a sacred waterhole there. I don't know anymore. The story is too old. But that stranger had not signaled that he was coming. He had the smell of someone very dangerous.
kurko balang baningangan. Kurko mara balang gardong. Wa balang me jalan kurko gardong wa.
Are, belengar kerenye. Kurbo nung belengar.
The stranger spoke language Rijimiriel could not understand very well.
Kira rune jiban. Wil keban kurbulle. Wup to marge. Wup kap marge. Lalle rune jiban.
Mana? Pelengan manjin ko yung re. Mulko. Chile. Laiken marge.
When they knew this stranger was part of magic, the bones of the man were shaking. They did not trust this stranger with the covered prick. He was not carrying anything to trade. Now you can see the canoes are nearly done. Only one bark is left to do. Now then they can learn what happened with his ancestors. Some of the ancients wanted to kill this stranger, but Rijimiriel didn't want to start a war. The stranger was given food to show respect. Soon he would be gone, but the bad feeling about him stayed behind. Far away, the sorcerer was listening in his mind. He heard the man talking about that stranger. The sorcerer came through the bush to the man. He made him listen to him. He warned them about the magic. It's not wise to leave shit just lying there. A sorcerer can do things with it. When the branches rub in the wind, it makes a sore throat.
Sino palma, puyo nak laren mit. Junggoy mabacan makunin. Man makon mulcim ko nyana kamban, nyana kamulcim ko krema nyana kabala gamban. Bujur win bentul mulci. Sino rinye ne, win yugo jamaga una bala japang ure pemban. Yo, maer kulp me, kaya kanya baru marwar ngole, gerbala jeban.
Ada bicara mencegah jam aku ini. Kita bicara banjir nge.
Yo. Kena leje, Mario je mau le jaman me, yo le.
Then the sorcerer got himself ready. He looked all around the camp. He looked everywhere for any magic that stranger left behind. After a long time, he was finished.
Yo main macam gor belaco arpam gor belaco arpam garai laco garai arpam.
The men are happy to go in the swamp. It's hard for Daindi. It's his first time to pull the canoe. Listen to the man honking like this. Daindi, scared of crocodiles. At first, nothing bad happened to Rijimiril and his people after the stranger left. Life for the ancient ancestors passed as it always did, as it had since the beginning. Rijimiril's wives behaved like wives always do.
Tualio ko di kajama. Ano ito kajama malabala niya. Margana mere. Ya kara ke jalti bala niya umala. Magaling marang mati nga malo taro. Yo. Na mer na tuay.
Biren behaved like himself.
Lagi orang baik, kalau punya orang ni kiriman. Cara agar kalian ni, beri dia orang orang.
Awak dah kacau kau ni kan apa kacau ni kan orang rajal kacau.
Boleh je nak. Cara apa kalau kau? Kau pulang ke mana nyonya cara orang marga, orang bakal ke marga.
Mulai na pernah ngoda jotan. Mun guru ni mer kita ini ternak kontitong na mer cijat tur kacau.
Ada kena kau, nak kaya mai kaya.
Rijimiril went hunting.
Nak kaya pun.
Nak kurdo mawanden. Yung tu madu kawangan ngetam.
And the women went to get food, chattering like magpies. The single men suddenly went bush. They seen Biren coming.
Koi, boleh jalan kaki, jangan berjam aja.
Ini melk kali.
Boleh lagi yang paling yang keren.
Ayo.
Oh, jangan berjalan, jangan berjam aja.
Pita beli ngarang ko nyelek kado wale. Bil pokoknya mau kuring ko na mere. Bango. Para na bili mala doma. Bango ini doma. Kala ko. Ini banyak balik kamilnya kuring ko na ka.
Nawalingo went with her friends to be away from Banalinjo. And Biren was making spearheads, singing a happy honey song. Yiralpril is trying to be tricky.
Normal tengok.
Kan penting.
Balal. Suele mulai kamar cewek kayak gua. Makanya lekan nang kamar tian.
Oh, bukan kau Kau tu berkorban markapkan ni mem. Ni begini panas ni. Ni bre. Dah lagi markapkan dalam. Ni gol tu.
Galak kah?
Dah lagi nak panas markapkan macam.
With all his family behaving like they always do, now we know why Richie Muriel went hunting. But that Richie Muriel was still a hard worker for his 3 wives. He was always trying to be fair and nice to all of them.
Why boleh gua boleh dengan. Aku punya barang gila.
Even sometimes to the younger one. Can you hear all them gumang? That magpies? Soon they will go on way to hunt geese and collect the eggs. Dandy will go with Mingululu to learn the swamp and hear more story. And this story is now growing like a young tree that is flowering for the first time. Back in that long ago time, maybe someone done the wrong thing. Or maybe the spirits were angry for no reason. But in a way it was, the lives of the ancients were about to change. That second wife of Richie Muriel, she just disappeared, like she flew away with the keys. The men sat down to talk about what maybe happened to her.
Marian Jamen. Cek kalur pulai Marian Gorman.
Barbaranya dalamnya.
Arking yang nunjurin me. Ang kami galalop me ni. Ang kami guna kayu me. Kayak pining bi me. Jangan jaman me. Jangan kurman aja. Jangan kurman.
Mana jangan gorman. Nakang golke lem gorpana ngayel urein rejemerel kong meyal nawalengo gorien mari jolal wanjien ka jenma banyane panelonjo manajar belak ngerele.
Time passed. Life without Nawalingo became normal, even to Regimeteril. But then everything changed again, and our uncle came to visit.
Bokol pane ngari argopian, kandar murung ngari jol gome, wan gorang ngari bacan, bejai ngari bome, kar nyame ma, naoleng ngokan ma, ka uno ko ngolon bor, yuri nyalo ka belak, yol nge uno ko me nyen, naoleng ngokar nyame, bai anar guau, kar urandrane, pan bem.
Regimeteril was right. Nawalingo was with that stranger. The uncle's eyes had seen it themselves. The men decided to get Nawalingo back.
Tinjung ke tirong nyerpan ya.
Mayo ne, lemkan makan ne.
Marang-marang kan makan apa?
Jadi jarang mayo. Pernah ne janji lembar cakakan ne. Iya.
Janji lembar pelan makan.
Janji lembar makan pernah ne. Marga ngalim janji lembar cakakan ne. Yol nge. Berok mar.
So the ancients made everything ready to send out a war party. Everybody was ready for war. The men talked about the planning.
Jalan gue lemar kapan?
Waba, dale vale,
Bet ni aja namanya, belum kau berjalan. Sejak pala kali ini, orang yang lebih berapa nak malok. Kama kare mang dalu kabri ni pininya. Almi kele mana nak meyal lemurgalan mak. Baru manilim kage. Kalau ana jana jaka ngane. Nyone.
Yang menyan mana wer mial kirar pelnya.
Parak mare. Kuluk madanak. Meyal. Yota. Tujuan kak.
Nyenok.
Firkan madanak. Jangan meyal. Kanyon manyar para bagaimana? Ada mana ke? Mel kuer ke ni? Mare, wo jamai mak, kamu nak wo jamai mak? Iral pare, mel kuer, kan ke?
Ada makan email.
Ini, yang ada pun. Bagaimana yang awak mandi pun? Kau dah tahu kibin nak kan?
I have to tell you something more about my people. If a man gets killed or dies, then his younger brother looks after dead man's wives. They become wives of his younger brother. That's why Yiralpril could not go. Only the young boys was left in single man's camp. Yiralpril's mind began to wander. Pretty soon, his body followed. He was thinking, with all the men gone, maybe he could come closer to Munanjar. But he didn't reckon with Panalunja.
Kacuan den. Nadali kaya boleh marcie. Muni mial kurmala dangang baru mala. Wanden.
Daindi thinks about Yiralpril and Munanjar. Their destinies were like butterflies in the air. They could go here, they could go there. Even the soft wind could change their direction forever. The men must sleep on the swamp while they're hunting. It's too far to go back all the time. But normal camp is not possible. There's too many crocodiles and not enough dry land. The men must be cooking and eating and sleeping in the trees, on platforms they're building. Up there in the branches, they will be safe. Daindi will soon find out what happened to War Party. Everyone came back safe. Not one angry spear was thrown.
Korop kunda binyangan kawrinya binyanyere. Mol korop le jamur jene.
Iya.
Kau nomor nyone. Amban mel korop binyangane. Ya mbula pelong nge ngono wani.
Yo.
Wala ngono pala jamin mel knale ngonye. Ngambul jene kapura jere kremban. Kaman metinyange. Gimana kayo makacay tabag ni? Makanoy. Alar. Pedang kada balik bimo. Kada bimo. Ibadah bimo nuka wala kam. Anak kada nabi ka. Kume bene wam. Nyalo mial ka gorman. Nangaling okan. Yen wurian ma marukun mial Ragorman nyalu yul ngoy.
There was nothing Regimental could do. No one believed him anymore. He became quiet and angry and sad. He was possessed by a bad spirit, like his proper soul been taken away from him. The trouble Regimental had was only just beginning. The bad spirit that lived in his head escaped. That bad spirit made biggest trouble of all.
Wah ni jenis jalan berpari je kayu cur je. Jalan berpari ini bre. Berjalan yang kacin me.
Wer. Kau cakap mereka nyambungnya.
Udah ni berbalas ni je. Cara raya le.
Ulpa lagi nggak pencurian. Paling jarak man.
Hai. Pergi berjalan apa nak? Pergi berjalan. Jangan yang luar ni orang kaya pun le. Oi! Adik! Mana kau yang ni adik? Kapan belum ni cari? Jalan kerja.
Apa aja kan? Saya carikan kamu. Tahu palingan mana kan?
Angker mangke. Jergung aja ya. Milte marge.
Ay, mama ya. Kamu.
Kerja?
Yo. Gimana?
Orang berkira ber. Orang bercara. Oi! Jangan bang je, kabar cek sekali. Kabar je bang je.
Mana Nabi ke?
Tolong kita bawa zaman me.
Anak kamu pai Nabi ke?
Jalan kejiban.
Awak kan?
Mor punya mereka kor boleh.
Hah? Itu kuliah kan? Kalau kurang kerja le. Kenapa kerja kan?
Nanjele.
Kuliah kan?
Mak. Mana kita berarti juga jadi jalan kejiban.
Lah, kung gabri ko malaki. Kung gabri nga kung kapal nga rin. Sama.
Cara mana more?
Lar.
Mal kerja. Per.
Ada ini.
Jangan jalan deh.
Kaki.
Taruh ini aja deh. Per.
Jangan nyoy bocor nyar penelaman guru menanjar ke Gerald friend.
Daindi is impatient to hear what will happen to the young ones. But the story is growing into a large tree now, with branches everywhere. All the parts of the story have to be told for proper understanding. Mingulu keeps going on the same branch. Those two ancestors, Rijimiril and Birin, done the wrong thing when they tried to hide the body. They didn't hide that body well enough.
Kini hame. Nyuna rawo ngombume. Ye. Kini nyungu pibijara. Nyuna jit chama yeme. Kanyuna rawo ngombume.
Kerajaan Jerman kalau dia apa? Darah kerana Jerman kerana, wah, kerjanya lo kini di Palma, yo Jerman nyal kini di Palma, pangar ada lagi yang ya kata kemudian ya lo berin kong di Pal, ka ngaruh anda margor. And Bulkian. Kuringen di Palma. Kuringen Argopal, Kanyan Kaitan and Gopal. Gujara.
Nyona rabo mo ngai. Rawang ngai. Wange. Nyona rabo me. Woi, rawang. Ai raya me. Ai. Mona rabo me. Mona rabo me.
At first, that stranger didn't believe Rijimiril. But Rijimiril would not change his words. The only thing to do was follow the law.
Makara sabon lembias paya. Kira kaya. Yo. Nyana bomme.
Rijimiril could not refuse Makarata
Mingare.
payback ceremony,
Makarata.
where the stranger and his men could throw spears at him until he got hit.
Yo. Tinum gorbe. Nengun bun
As the two groups worked out the Makarata, Rijimiril knew he was in a danger he couldn't get away from. Night is coming to the tree platforms. The men sit near their little fires. The smoke helps to keep the mosquitoes away. They talk about the hunting. There's lots of kumang eggs this year. The telling of the destiny of Rijimiril must wait until night becomes empty of black. Now it is morning. The men go out to do more hunting of kumang and their eggs. Mingululu wants to know if Daindi has learned anything yet. Daindi say only thing he learned is Mingululu take long time to tell the story. Mingululu answers, a good story must have proper telling. Back then, all that time ago, it was also a time of goose egg gathering. Payback, Makarata, was to be this time, far across the other side of the swamp. Rijimiril was heavy in his heart. This time, Yiralpril could go to lend his spirit to his older brother. The wives were afraid they'll never see a husband again. Birin could not go. He was too fat to cross the swamp in a canoe.
Nah, koko, yang berikan polisnya. Lagi ni yang lagi dengarangnya, raya kerban, berkabab.
It was a bad time. As the men went out to cross the swamp, they were thinking of what Rijimiril had to face. Maybe that strangest mob could throw the spears good and straight. Then Rijimiril would have a spear right through him pretty soon. But that was the law. Rijimiril knew that law. He knew it was the way of his people. He knew the people needed the law, so they could stay living right way with the right land. And he knew he'd broken the law. Without the Makarata, there would be a bad war between the two tribes. There was no turning back.
Serius kal.
Yang mau ah. Saya tuan balik mak. Liol kal. Mak. Wah. Karet dan nilam kurpanak.
Mingullo tells Daindi that Rijimiril needed Makarata partner, someone who would face the spears with him. The other tribe was satisfied whichever one got speared. It was a dangerous thing to be Makarata partner. He could get speared instead of Rijimiril. Yiralpril knew it and waited his time.
Rijimiril kanyal kamak. Makarata ya. Kilo ngaro na kamak. Sini mar kamak. Baru lugang jenar. Kamari jenar kamungan jenar. Ini bukor kong ya. Mok. Ngara kamak. Malagang eh.
Mari jen mereka. Cara ko malakak kalwa.
Mundur yang merek eh.
Yiralpril argued with the men. If he couldn't have any wives, or he couldn't have Munanjar, he might as well be spared or dead. Finally, Rijimiril agreed. The goose egg hunters come together to eat. Daindi is proud of his hunting. Mingulolo will go on with the story when they are eating. We can't wait that long because it was time for Makarata spears to start flying. Rijimiril and Yiralpril danced like ghosts between the spears. They danced so hard they were nearly invisible. The spears seemed to be passing right through them. The warriors from the other tribe threw their spears until their arms were getting tired. That's how hard those two brothers were dancing. Rijimiril was not a ghost. His legs were human, and one spear too many came flying. The goose egg hunting is nearly over for now, but there is still some of the story left for me to tell you. That one spear too many had hit Rijimiril right in his guts. He was injured all right, but not so bad that he should die. The other tribe, they were satisfied. The law had been followed. Justice had been done.
Arnyong ngara yul raname. Tena bachi je gertada yemban. Majuti.
Rijimiril still believed it was the stranger who took Nawalingo. It made him too proud to let the men carry him back. He wanted to show the stranger and his own men he was strong and angry. But he was not strong enough to pole all the way across the swamp. And the blood that was leaving his body made him too weak to walk by himself. Vanalunju knew the leaves to use to make the wound better. She knew what to get to make her husband stronger. The men are near the end of the journey. Dayindi is now interested in all the story. He waits to hear what happened to Rijimiril. Rijimiril did not get stronger. In his weakness, he called out Nawalingo to bring him water. But Nawalingo didn't come. A bad spirit took over Rijimiril's body. He did not have the strength to fight it off. That stranger's tribe might have used some sorcery. Maybe on the spear there was some sorcery. Or maybe on Rijimiril himself. And there is only one way to fight sorcery.
Baik, boleh ban. Dia keluar bapule. Boleh jumpa jangan ada. Lebih laikan malah.
The sorcerer could do no more. He was overcome by great sadness. people know. See, they know. They come out of the bush from everywhere. They come for Rigimeril. And see how Rigimeril makes one very big effort. Maybe his last effort. Slowly he gets up. And look at him get up while he's still got the strength. Slowly he walks to the middle of the space in the camp. And there, near the fires, so that everyone can see, Rigimeril begins to dance. His own death dance. Soon the clapsticks will join in, and the didgeridoo, and then singing. Hear the clapsticks start. And now is the didgeridoo. As Rigimeril dances his own death dance. He is becoming weaker. But see how he keeps dancing until all his strength will be gone. Now he's getting tired. Now his strength is finished, and he lies down on the ground. Now the warriors finish the death dance for Rigimeril. Rigimeril is waiting for them to start singing again. He wants them to sing his death song for him, so that all his fathers will know that he is dying and come to him. starting to sing. You think he might be dead, but he's only waiting for his singing. See? See him move his hand like his brown Pathan Tatum? See his foot move? That's to show he is listening, that he's going to die, and he's telling his people. Now he is lying there. His heart is still beating, but he's already dead. Look, look, our grandfather gone into his heart to help get his soul out of there. Even his heart is still now. But he wants them to keep singing a bit longer to help him find his ancestors. Then they must prepare him for his journey. They are painting the design of his waterhole on him. That means his spirit can find its way back to its waterhole. It will wait there to be born again. Now they are chasing his soul away, because sometimes it doesn't want to leave. And there it goes on its journey.
Wan jangan mah, najap melan.
Badak. Wer ni jat nya jang mo.
Daindi is learning one important thing for his life. He's learning to be patient. But you're impatient to see the rest of the story, huh? I know that. So I'll tell you what happened. Rijimirul's soul was just gone to his waterhole.
Ngayon, yan pwede niya man guru.
Ayo. Gino borene golke monyan nagorpan kabolo jinin bulanene
Pada kami ni kagak pernah deh.
prak prak prak.
It was not the stranger who took Naalimu, and she did not run away. It was that Cross River mob took her. They traded her to a desert tribe far away. She escaped from them and took nearly a season to walk all the way back. And now her husband was dead. The men had to show they were warriors. They made a lot of noise about going to war against Cross River mob, but inside their heads it was not like that. They were happy when Biren come to talk to them.
Kere palam ko bije. Manam ga yor palam marben me. Reje me kain. Ajele palam ko bije.
There were days and months of ceremony of the dead. All the proper things were done. At last, the spirit of the dead man was brought back where his belonging was. The men are getting close to home. Daindi knows the story is nearly at its end. Some of the men go back to their own tribe. Maybe they meet again next ceremony. Or maybe next season of goose egg gathering. Finally, Yiralpril could be with Munanjara.
Benar mel kana berar nyame.
Mari kenapa lah? Nganyapin nila kagwa dale. Ya kan nganyapin nila
Ako ner ko
dale.
Mara dong dong ora na wala kami mari.
Ya ka. Mari
Punya kana ka nga
Ya
dale.
kamu jutukan nila.
Oh, apa lagi gini wae?
Udah
Yang gini. Yeme. Kamu jangan.
And finally, Daindi had the end of the story. It was not what he expected. and they all lived happily ever after. No, I don't know what happened after that. Maybe that Dainty found a wife. Maybe he didn't. It was like that for my people. But now you've seen my story. It's a good story. Not like your story, but a good story all the same.